Well, good evening and welcome to a wet and windy Weston-super-Mare. We're going to be with you very, very soon. We've got a few people joining us. We've just got a few issues getting them online. It's very wet, very windy here, but we'll be with you in a few minutes now. We're waiting to a little bit of an audience. If you'd like to join us in this Zoom room, then drop a message in and we can arrange that. Yeah, that does look like it's working. Oh, the two little microphones are the fluffy ones. Have I got them? Yeah, I've got them. One, two. One. Okay, Cam. Can you take this camera and get a? Is it raining? Okay. Take that and just get a shot of me coming out. I'll be mic'd up. Have you got your you haven't got your headphones with you, have you?
No, I've got some ones that you gave me.
You still got those?
Yeah.
Okay, plug those into that so you can monitor the audio at least.
Say hi.
What?
Keep talking.
1 2 1 2. Check. Well, my mic's not on. 1 2 1 2. Check 1 2 1 2. Can you hear me? What?
Yes, sir.
Good. You ready?
Yeah. Are you?
That was fantastic. We went all the way for several hours to Weston-super-Mare. We had fish and chips on the beach. We saw the sea monster.
Thank you, Nick. Excellent.
Enjoy
excellent.
that,
I
yeah?
really appreciate your hard work.
We all came together as one. We had people from different cultures. We ate together like a family, and we saw something that was worth watching. Because even though it's so far from us, if you don't see it with your own eyes, you won't think that is so special. But when you start seeing that next to the seafront, you see seagulls, you smell fresh air, you keep away from the pollution of the city. Overall, more than excellent. It's the best trip I ever had.
Oh, it was absolutely fantastic. I couldn't have done better if I'd have tried.
Okay.
Would you let us know if there's anything else?
Of course
on?
we will. What did you think of the sea monster?
Oh, the sea monster. It was awesome. I'll be all right.
Welcome to Weston-super-Mare. Let's cut across to our outside camera. Goodness me. This is not for the faint-hearted, this game. Here we are on the seafront in our camper van. You've got Sea Monster there, and I'm going to come outside now and venture into the elements. I just want to bring my phone out and make sure we are actually live streaming. You can't make this stuff up. This is so hard. It's so hard. So hopefully we are live. Goodness me. This is the Starship, the Steamco Starship. I just want to check that can I get a thumbs up from the camera operator? Can you hear me? We've got a thumbs up on audio. That's good. Cameron is an absolute hero. He's been helping us all weekend. Sorry?
It's just a left.
I know it's so yeah, and I'm just going to. If you're listening in stereo, you're actually going to hear me out one speaker. I'm just going to listen to make sure we've got this, and I just want to just a bit of a sound check to make sure it's coming out. Check that can I get a thumbs up for the camera operator? Yeah, we have got that. I'm going to go and turn that green bar off the bottom. Just actually leave that on. So basically, what we've done is we've got the Starship parked up here, and our satellite dish on the roof. So we've got live satellite coming through the satellite dish. You can hopefully see on the roof there. That's a SpaceX Starlink satellite dish, and that's actually connecting, believe it or not, with an array of 30 satellites that Elon Musk has stuck up there. And we're getting internet, about 200 megs internet up there, which is fantastic. 200 down, about 15, 16 up. And then around the back of the truck here, we've actually got a generator running, which is probably going to be quite loud and noisy. So that means we're totally off grid. This is a world first for Steamco. I don't know about for anybody else. It's the first time we've ever been completely off grid. We're totally standalone. We rocked up earlier in the rain and the wind. It was pretty nasty. You have got a light on the top cam as well. So yeah. So and obviously behind me is Sea Monster. Now I'm hoping that. You're going to be able to see that now. I mean, Cam can probably zoom in on that actually. So this is really exciting. What we've done is in the last 2 weeks, we've taken trips of community trips supported by the Unboxed Youth and Community Access Fund. They've given us grants to rent a minibus, which is on the other side of the road over there. And we've brought people from Coventry, from Bristol, from Cardiff, from North Kensington, the Grenfell Estate, the community there, to see Sea Monster, and it's fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. And what we'll do is we'll talk about the context of that this evening. We want to have a little bit of a chat with some of the people who've come down with us. Hopefully they're going to join us in the Zoom, on the Zoom room. Hopefully a few other people are going to see it as well, because we want to have a conversation about whether people really care. We're looking for creative carers. We're looking for people who care about creativity, who care about children, and who care about all our futures. And that's what Sea Monster represents to me and a number of people that we collaborate with at Steamco, because that's a beacon for the creativity revolution our children, our communities, our country so desperately need. A repurposed oil rig, representing, if you like, the industrial age, the oil age, the old era of energy, of industry. Looking back at that, but reusing it to create a beacon for this new future. The creativity revolution is going to replace the industrial revolution. As Seth Godin said, we are leaving the industrial economy and entering the connection economy. And it's how we connect each other. And for us, art, I wear a t-shirt that says, I love art, because for me, for us, art is what we call it when what we do might connect us to somebody else. Your art could be painting, photography, cooking, coding, cardboard, fashion, football, dance, design, DJing, robots or rockets. And the truck that you see here, our Steamco art truck, contains everything you need to run a creativity festival in a primary school, at a fete or a festival. And back in January I went to John O'Groats to launch the Our Million Appeal, to raise £1 million to inspire 1 million kids by putting 22 of those on the road with 22 Steamsters, people like me, to go out and run the activities, to talk to people, to connect, to go into orchards. This morning we camped in an orchard and we found a bunch of apples on the floor, so I've been giving Bramley cooking apples away all day. We've been giving out flyers in our waterproof box to tell people about saving Sea Monster. Save Sea Monster, and they've been scanning that, and we've had people signing up. So this evening we're going to look through that petition and get a feel for what people have been saying, because the response has been phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal. Everybody we've spoken to has agreed we do need to save Sea Monster. So I'm going to go back inside now, I'm going to connect to some people, I'm going to drop some videos, and we're going to chat, and we're going to talk about this, because it's your money, if you've ever paid a penny tax, that funded this. And I'm not going to use phrases like cost the taxpayer. I'm going to use phrases like a public investment, an investment of public money. For 6 weeks, then 8 weeks, 10 million, 15, 25, whatever it ends up being. I don't care what it costs, as long as we leverage that investment and as long as that money is well spent. And I don't believe it's well spent by cutting Sea Monster up and scrapping it like an art piece. And I met Martin Green, the former director of the Unbox Festival, in Blaenau Ffestiniog the other week, and I asked him why it was being cut up so quickly, why it had only been up for 6 weeks at that time. Okay, it was late, it was big, it was bold, it was ambitious, and as such, overran timescales. It's a phenomenal project putting an oil rig on the beach. The locals laughed when they told me how they got the tides wrong and had to get loads of tugs up from all over the place to pull it off the Severn estuary currents. But Martin said to me, Nick, its temporary nature is its art, and I don't think that's good enough. For me, that's like giving a child a bag of sweets and then ripping that bag of sweets away from them after they've had one and filming them cry and submitting that film for an Arts Council award or for a film festival. That's not funny, it's not clever. Public money has never been scarcer, and everybody who spends it has a responsibility to spend it wisely, to invest that in our children, our communities, and all our futures. And I'm going to jump back in here now and we'll carry on inside. Oh. And here we are, back inside. I'm going to put my headphones on just so I can check if you can actually hear anything. To go to that microphone and that microphone and that microphone. And hopefully, yep, looks like you can. I'm just going to check the audio levels on that. 1, 2, yep, you can hear me. I'll turn that down just a little bit. And later on we'll show you what is going on here, because obviously I'm not really in front of, where are we? Let's go there. I'm not really in front of a screen or Sea Monster. In fact, there are people walking around, so maybe it is real. Maybe they aren't walking around. Let's make them walk around. Click that, and suddenly they all start moving. Are they moving? No, they're still not moving. Why is that? Oh, because that was the wrong clip. There we go. Where are we? It's that one that wants to play. Now they're moving. We have the technology available eventually. So I'm going to get rid of that, and I'm going to play our little introduction, one of the introductory clips here. We had a fantastic time bringing people from across the country to the Unboxed Festival. It really has been fantastic. And the first trip we brought actually was from North Kensington. North Kensington came with us about 2 weeks ago now, actually. This is the Grenfell Estate, this is Notting Hill, this is South Kilburn. We had a fantastic crowd from that session. Let's play that out. Well, we've had a great day down in Weston-super-Mare with our first Unboxed 22 tour. So we went to see Sea Monster. It'd be lovely to know what everybody in the back of the bus thinks.
It's a fantastic day. Really enjoyed seeing kind of a vision of the future, really.
Thank you very much, Nick. I enjoy it very much. The best trip I had since 1977 I came to this country. And you are very, very, very kind.
Oh, it was lovely. I had such a wonderful time, wonderful people. And the best thing is when I went down that chute. Was it shooting on the Sea Monster?
You like the slide, did you?
The slide, is it a slide? Oh my God, it was wonderful.
Okay, well, I liked it too. And I saw some sheep, which I was very happy about.
That was fantastic. We went all the way for several hours to Weston-super-Mare. We had fish and chips on the beach. We saw the Sea Monster.
Thank you, Nick. Excellent.
Enjoy
Excellent.
that,
I
yeah?
really appreciate your hard work.
We all came together as one. We had people from different cultures. We ate together like a family, and we saw something that was worth watching, because even though it's so far from us, if you don't see it with your own eyes, you won't think that is so special. But when you start seeing that next to the seafront, you see seagulls, you smell fresh air, you keep away from the pollution of the city. Overall, more than excellent. It's the best trip I ever had.
Side completely me.
That's right.
So thanks very much for coming.
Listen, thank you.
Thank you very much. Appreciate your support. We'll be in touch. Yeah.
I'll leave you with a little message now.
Go on then.
Right. It don't cost a copper coin. Be nice to one another, and the world will be a better place.
I'll take that. Isn't that a lovely thing to say? Thank you very much.
That's right.
So the very special thing about today, Billy, what you used to do for a living years ago?
I worked on the steam trains for 8 years.
So what railway line did you used to work? What was this railway company you used to work for?
GWR.
The GWR, God's Wonderful Railway. You used to be a fireman on a steam local.
Yeah.
Up to Paddington, was it? Or
No, it's a do Barry work, go down to Barry and all that, like, you know.
down to Barry, and it's a
Yeah.
shame when they cut all those engines up
They
in
did
Barry.
in Newport, they cut over 300, not over what's your name, buttages. They burned them all up, all the ones are by Barry and all. They cut all them up.
It's almost ironic because they're just about to cut up the Sea Monster as well. How do you feel about the Sea Monster being cut up like those?
No, I
steamers?
don't think they should cut it up.
No.
But I
Anyway,
would have liked them to keep that there longer
yeah.
for the money it cost.
I'll show you a little video one day of me when I was 1 and my first ever train set and my dad. And trains have always been my love. Model railways, tree. I love the GWR. So thanks very much, Billy.
All right, bud.
Yeah, all the best. Cheers, buddy.
Ta-ra
Get
now.
off there.
Take
It's all right.
care. Ta-ra,
Bye-bye.
everybody.
Well, I'm sorry about that. We had a technical meltdown there. We don't know what happened. The whole of the laptop died on us, and we've lost all the settings for the system, which is rather annoying, to say the least. We can rebuild it. So first thing I need to do is to click and rebuild this virtual set. I can't believe that I've never had that die quite as dramatically as that before in all my life. So let's just get this back in here and get yours truly up on the screen. And hopefully we can at least carry on with the conversation. Goodness me, that was a massive meltdown. I've never had this software completely die. There was a Windows update the other day, and so let's just try and get myself onto that and fade that across. So this is not for the faint-hearted, this gig, I can absolutely assure you. And we're waiting for a few people to join us actually, to join us on this evening. And they're going to be coming in on Zoom, and I've got WhatsApp over on the screen on the left side over here. Can't get onto the Zoom. Oh dear, which one was wrong? Okay. That one should work. Let's have a look. Oh, that doesn't work. Okay. My bad. Oh, that should work. Why isn't that working? Ah, no. That seems to work. So we're going to have a few people join us in a few minutes. We had a couple of. I hope we caught the intro bit actually of what is actually going on here. We're actually in a camper van outside on the seafront at Weston-super-Mare. It's absolutely pouring with rain, and we are having all sorts of fun and games here. I'm going to get all those videos in. We've got some fantastic videos. In the last 2 weeks, we've been all over the UK. Well, all over the UK. 10 places to get down to Sea Monster here. And it really has been a wonderful time. We had communities from Coventry, from North Kensington, Notting Hill area, Kilburn, Cardiff, and Newport. And I think Newport was probably one of the most joyous trips. As you just heard there, we had a wonderful chat with Billy, who was an engine driver on the Great Western Railway, and we'll come back to that a little bit later on. One of the things I think is quite interesting about Sea Monster has been the response of people in the community, and we'll come back to this in our discussions as everybody starts to join. But one thing really sort of struck me the other week was the comment made by the BBC.
Called Unboxed, a celebration of creativity across the United Kingdom. This is Sea Monster in Weston-super-Mare, the latest free project to open to the public. The festival began in March and is costing the taxpayer £120 million. Now the head of an influential parliamentary committee says it's a potentially monumental waste of money and has called for the National Audit Office to investigate. Here's our culture editor, Katie Razin.
Sea Monster looms over Weston-super-Mare, a decommissioned gas platform turned into an art installation about the environment.
No one really ever sees these structures close up, and I just was struck by the sheer scale of it.
Martin Green is giving me an exclusive tour of the delayed project, the latest from his Unboxed festival, which celebrates British creativity. But Unboxed has cost £120 million of taxpayers' money and is under fire. Have you felt under attack?
There's a healthy and natural cynicism to something new, something different. I know we're all very proud of it.
A festival to showcase Britain was initially announced in 2018 by the then Prime Minister Theresa May. 10 projects have been opening since March. Like this story of human life called About Us here in Carnarvon. Unboxed had an ambitious aim to reach 66 million people. Today, the chair of an influential parliamentary committee has written to the public spending watchdog, the National Audit Office, questioning how many visitors the festival's actually had and asking the NAO to investigate whether it's been value for money.
Well, we saw the warning signs, the red lights were flashing on the dashboard of this, and unfortunately it seems to be that we've been proven right by that. The fact is that this has been potentially a monumental waste of money and actually has made very little impact in the country as a whole.
The government wanted to invest in creativity. The future of jobs and skills in this country is around creativity and the creative industries. We wanted to do things big and bold and ambitious, and that's what we've done, and I think that's absolutely value for money.
But there are people who are saying they haven't been extraordinary, they haven't been bold, nobody knows about Unboxed.
Well, you know, we've seen visitors in the millions. You can see behind you. I think this is extraordinary. I think it's bold. It's literally not been done in the world before.
I think what could possibly go wrong? Well, that's a question that many people have asked themselves, not least with the Unboxed Festival, but also when they park their minibus on the beach, which is what we did last week with our Newport trip. We'll come back to exactly what could have possibly gone wrong there when we get the opportunity. Everybody who's we've got some people now joining in for the chat, which is fantastic. I can see Tracy up there in Coventry. Can you give a thumbs up if you can hear me, Tracy? I've got a nice little smile. Can you put your screen widthways, sweetheart? So can you turn your screen around 90 degrees? Can you flip it around? You're tall and thin at the moment. It'd be quite good to get your widthways, but we'll come back to Tracy. It doesn't matter, it's not the end of the world, don't worry. But we had a fantastic trip with a lovely bunch of people from Coventry just the other week, actually, and we're going to come to Tracy in a few minutes, and I'm hoping Benji can join us as well. Okay, so looks like I've been giving everybody the wrong link. Let me just put the right link in here, and And yeah, so yeah, we had a fantastic time with everybody from all over London, actually, North Kensington, as you heard a moment ago, and Coventry and other parts of the country. A lot of people want to know what this is going to do with Steamco and what the backstory is to Steamco with the Unboxed Festival. We've been tracking this for quite some time now, and really very excited about what this represents as a festival. And how it might be an opportunity to connect communities across the country. And that's really where we were coming from with our enthusiasm. It's been weaponised, a lot of people have been quite negative about it, but let's just cut back to that film about with the background for us. Wired Magazine and The Guardian have said I'm a man on a mission after I co-founded a non-profit 10 years ago to promote creativity with the community of my son's primary school in Paddington. I'm just a dad, but I'm passionate about creativity in our schools, work and lives, and I'm now on a mission to raise £1 million to inspire 1 million kids, and I need your help. Elon Musk's dream of taking 1 million people to Mars in 30 years inspired our Mission to Mars UK tour, which was sponsored by a dad who went to space on one of his rockets. I built a starship from a few bits of metal and a Mars base camp from cardboard and hit the road with a green screen TV studio in the back of a camper van, live streaming into schools and running workshops. We went up through England to Edinburgh, across to Belfast and down through the Lake District to Liverpool to a village school in South Wales. We shared inspiring stories, we created stuff, and we launched rockets to inspire our kids to aim higher and higher with their art. We're launching an appeal to raise £1 million to put 22 of our pop-up day drop trucks and steamsters like me on the road.
You've arrived at your destination.
Inspired by the New Year's Eve fireworks, celebrating our country's creativity, we ran our own event to launch our Ignite 22 year. We now need your help to co-create events that will help us all inspire 1 million kids this year, and for all of us to live a creative life.
Here we are outside.
Ooh, stop that. Why does that keep playing? I'll tell you what it is. We're still restoring our settings from our little crash. Baineswells Express. Now that's another story. We're going to come back to that later on. But no, the real thing for us is the fact that 4 years ago the Culture Minister invited us to Coventry, funnily enough, to talk about this Unboxed Festival. And we got very excited about that, £120 million for a national festival of creativity. And went away, and as you saw there, we launched the Art Connects 19 year. We had an event in Parliament, we did events in Liverpool that year, we went to festivals, we did events in schools in Bradford. And at the end of that year, we saw Nile Rodgers. Nile Rodgers did a video link with us from New York. And he said that it's all about collaboration. So we had Collaborate 20 year, we kicked that year off, and then lockdown hit. Fortunately, we got some Arts Council funding, DCMS funding, we built the green screen studio, the technology we're using here today. And we then went into 2021, Inspiration 21 year. Now that was due to be Coventry's year of City of Culture. They put that back because of lockdown. And we built a cardboard Coventry Cathedral, as you saw. We did live streams from that, and working with communities across the country, we did what we could to connect them with Coventry and the fantastic work that went on there. And I'm absolutely delighted to say, actually, that we've got somebody in our green room. And if I press this button here, we should be able to see Tracy. And if I press this button here, we should be able to hear her as well. Hello, Tracy.
Hello.
Have you got the speaker on? I'm hearing myself back as well. Can you turn it down or put some headphones on? 1, 2, and 2.
I really don't know what's happening here.
It might be me. Hang on a second.
I don't know. Can you not hear me?
I can hear you, but I can hear myself echoing as well. But I don't know what it's like for the listeners.
Yeah, there's
at
an
home.
echo coming back. You know, you have your own echo as well this end. I've had to come on my phone, you see, because my laptop just wouldn't have it. So.
You're on your phone, are you?
Yes.
Let's have a look here.
I don't know what's wrong
1,
with the
2.
laptop.
Is that better? Can you hear me?
Yeah, you're still echoey, but I can hear you. I know what you're saying.
Okay. Well, Tracy, tell us what you've been doing in the last year with Coventry 2021.
Oh my goodness. Well, I was lucky enough to be involved in so many things, nearly all of the events, to be honest. Right from the very first one on the June the 5th, which was like an opening parade with the Godiva. We had Godivas on horses, modern day Godivas, from 4 areas in Coventry, meeting or walking the route, and the general public didn't know. They just had, Godivas and drummers just going past the houses, and we all met at the cathedral in the end. That was pretty cool. We were drumming. But then Bagway Theatre in a rough, tough Cream Puff estate agency, where we linked up with Choir with No Name, and Underground Lights were involved. That's Underground Lights Community Theatre. We also went on to do Streams of Consciousness with Underground Lights Community Theatre, which was, we took a performance out and about in the city centre in Coventry, and that was really good. I'll say Choir of No Name. Oh my God, honestly, there are so many. It was a big meeting the other day, and I literally couldn't think of them all. Between myself and Benji, we were like, wow. So we came to the conclusion of what didn't we do?
What did it mean to you in the community, a creativity project like that?
Oh, it meant everything, because we became known, especially Underground Lights Community Theatre. Yeah, we were sort of more out there, as with a lot of the smaller charities and small companies and individual artists. We had a chance, to be noticed and to do things, which we wouldn't necessarily have done without the City of Culture funding, especially.
And do you believe that it was inclusive and that everybody had that opportunity and felt part of it?
Oh, this is the million-dollar question, if you like.
Well, nothing's perfect, is it, in this case?
Yeah, it depends who you ask, really, because there's some people are disgruntled because they felt that they didn't have the opportunity. Others it worked fine for and they're really happy. So personally, I can't really answer that one because it worked really well for us and the people that I'm, involved with. We had a lot of backing, a lot of support. There are other artists that maybe feel left out.
That's fair enough, and it's inevitable. Not everybody's going to be able to get involved, I suppose. It can be difficult, can't it, some of these things? What you came down to sea monster with us, didn't you, just the other week? What did you think of that? And how do you think that impacted the people that came along, and how does that connect to possibly what happened in Coventry?
Well, we loved it. We wouldn't normally, just hopped on a minibus and just gone to Weston for the day. That nearly didn't happen. Gosh, but luckily between you and I, we pulled it off.
Well, you were a hero on that, so thank you so much again for all your effort.
It was absolutely really worth it. To see, just to see the sea monster in all its glory, the sheer size of it. We were just blown away, really. But we did find it was quite difficult to find out information about it.
What do you mean?
People that were working there, we asked them various questions and they didn't know. I believe that there was a leaflet. I mean, you told us more than we would have found out had we gone on our own. So thank you for that.
I'm flattered about that, but I think that would have been my criticism of it as well, actually. There's very little signage, there was nothing there explaining anything. And when I asked them why that was the case, basically they said people were supposed to go and speak to attendants. A little bit like going to an art gallery. They don't explain all the art. But somehow I think it was a little bit too scant. At least when you go to a gallery, there's something at the beginning that explains what was happening at that time of the artist's life, what the influences were. And I think they missed that completely. It seemed a real shame.
Yeah, I totally agree. Yeah, because who was behind it? Where did the idea come from? Where did they get the materials? There's so many different things. How many people worked on it? How long did it take? Just things you would expect to find out.
No, absolutely. They missed quite a few tricks on that front, didn't they?
Yeah.
I'm just I see Benji's coming actually. I'm going to try and get her on the screen. I've got to do a little bit of jiggery-pokery here to make that happen. Where are we? Okay, let's drop her in there. So Benji's super big at the moment. I'm going to drop her into... Oh, that's me. I've just had a massive meltdown, I don't know if you saw, but everything was working perfectly. And then it all crashed, which is always the way. There we go.
Oh, no, I don't know what's going on this end.
Can you hear us, Benji?
Yes, live and in your living room.
That's good.
Hi, Benji.
Hi.
So Benji, what do you do? What's your role in the claim to fame?
Oh God, so many stuff. So I do drumming, I do choir. I got a team of 20 people who I support events in the city and around the UK. I also am on the Arts and Homelessness Leadership Program and also one of the associates. So I do some help train other people to strive for better in their life and try and see if they want to do around a business plan. Yeah, there's a lot of things, and there's some other stuff with city culture in Coventry. But yeah, there's quite a bit, too many things. And I'm also on the Warwick Arts Committee.
That must keep you busy all that then.
There's a lot more. I'm doing bass guitar now as well.
As I said, we were trying to think of it all at that meeting, weren't we, the other day, the commissioners' meeting, and that was to go forward with the legacy. They're keen to do that, so we went to that, didn't we, Benji?
Yeah, it was really, really amazing, and it's really positive. I know there's been a lot of negativity, but there's been also a lot of changes, and sometimes even if something doesn't work out the first time and the dynamics change, you still should attend things and see what's happening, because it could be a start of a better future for other people or yourselves or whoever would be interested. Yeah.
What did you think of Sea Monster, Benji?
I absolutely loved it. I was absolutely terrified because I hate heights. I really hate heights. So I was holding on, and I'm I can't go another level. And I was thinking I have to, because this could be the end and I won't get another chance again. And I thought that it's so important to do this and for my well-being, and like all my friends and new people I'd met had come down there, and it was just like wow. And then we reached the top and there was the sea report of the tides, and that reminds me of like sometimes when I'd listen to the sea report with my mum, and it was just like a really good time. So it held a lot of memories, and I love water as well.
And of course, we absolutely got the chance to take some amazing photographs, didn't we? And we were so proud of you, Benji, that you inched your way up. Really, we were, because you would have regretted it if you hadn't.
Yeah, I know, I totally would have. And I know there's one of my friends who wanted to get a van to bring more people down, because there's been so many people who really want to see it before it goes. But I'd love it to stay.
Really? That's you've heard that, have you?
Yeah.
Yeah. We have between us. Yeah, we had a lot of, well, when are you going again? Can we go again? We would love to see it. We're on one of our friends, Joe, he would love it. So looking into maybe us getting a van and taking some more people.
Because, yeah, a lot of people.
We're running out of time, aren't we?
Can you bear with me 1 second, guys? Talk amongst yourselves for a second. What's the matter?
Someone in the big flashing van.
Probably need to be able to handle those things ideally, but it's all good, it's friendly. Keep an eye on the lights out there. Keep an eye on the lights out, we'll probably go out again in a minute. Sorry about that, guys, we just got raided by the beach ranger.
Oh God, so you're literally on the beach now as we're speaking?
Oh, you haven't seen Cameron? Can you get the camera? I'll show you. We'll, let's get the microphone on. So actually, in fact, Cameron comes in here with the camera. You'll see where I am and what I'm doing, and maybe have a little bit of sympathy for the technical hiccups that we do have.
Oh, that's why your cheeks are red.
1, 2. Okay, hang on.
And hi, Cam. We thought Cam was absolutely wonderful. We liked Cam very much.
Cameron is super, isn't he? Yeah, there's no doubt about that.
Yeah, we've adopted him.
Yeah.
Hey, Tracy.
Hi, how are you?
Okay, we seem to have lost that camera. We had a complete crash and reboot of everything. Is that on? Are you on at that end? So you're on there. Why are we not receiving anything here? Oh, that's a shame. We need to get this going. This is quite a special part of everything. Is the battery? Is the battery on? How many lights have you got on here?
Make sure this is on.
That was on, so you shouldn't have to turn it off. Okay, I don't know which setting it is now.
I just put
that is on. Let's try reset. Oh, come on, please work. So we had a complete meltdown and everything went off. Let's have a look. So I must admit, the ranger was super nice actually. Very polite. So I hope you're not thinking of sleeping here overnight, like you said. In our dreams. So why is that gone off? Oh dear.
And are you going back to London tonight then?
No, we're not. No, staying here tonight and then working in school communities all next week down in Essex, believe it or not.
Wow.
Just a sec. No video. Okay, so that's interesting. Come over here, Cam. You're not getting a signal for some reason. Something just changed. We are now. Whatever. Okay. Can you hear me all a bit better? That is working perfectly now, Cameron. So I'm going to press not that one, that one. cut across. So this is where I am and what I'm doing. So now you've got a sense. Come in here, Cam, and show you what we've got. So basically I've got a laptop here, which is a pretty complicated system. It's a very scary, very scary interface. So these are all my audio settings, all my video settings. In fact, Cameron's my cameraman. So take that. So we've got all the social media on the screen over here, so I can monitor who's online and who's watching. I've got Tracy up there on that Zoom screen. I've got Benji down here on the screen here, and then they get grabbed and mixed in there. And let's go outside, making sure I'm not wired in still. What I'll do is I'll probably just check everything. So yeah. Careful on that step. Oh, he's turned the lights off. There we go. So yeah, it's we are literally on the seafront at Weston-super-Mare, and we've got some lights. We can turn the lights on. So yeah, so here we are. So there's the lovely sea monster. You guys didn't see it in the night, but it really is fantastic. I really would recommend anybody who hasn't seen it, get down here and have a look as soon as you possibly can. It's such a lovely, lovely sight. It's absolutely howling a gale here at the moment. So they actually closed it quite early on today, which is a disappointment for everybody. We've been we camped in an orchard last night, believe it or not. So there's the lovely sea. So we camped in an orchard last night, and when we woke up this morning, there were apples everywhere. So we got lots of apples. So we brought those down for people. We are very community-minded, I'm sure you'd agree. On the top of the trailer up there is a satellite dish. That's a SpaceX Starlink satellite dish, one of Elon Musk's things, and that's pointing at 30 satellites that Elon Musk has launched, and that's beaming our internet down to the Starship. And then for electricity, round here, we've got a generator that says we've got 3 hours or 5 hours left. Well, it's just gone to 2. It jumps around all over the place. That's our generator. That's just gone quite noisy for some reason, which is never very encouraging. So yeah, that's what we're doing. Oh goodness! And the camper van's just over the other side of the road there. So I'll jump back into the hot seat here now. Oh. There we go. You can see through the screen. So yeah. Let's take that.
I like the disco ball in the camper van.
Did you like that? Yeah, we did have time to get that work. We literally got everything else going. So what do you think of that? I couldn't hear what you were saying while I was out there, I'm afraid. It was on my mic only. Is that working?
I think it was just
that sounds like it's working.
We were just a lot of wow. We were just like, wow. No one to the beach ranger was like interested in what you're doing.
Yeah. I must admit, I'm quite glad that we haven't got too many people sort of buzzing around, because it's rather stressful as it is, especially when it doesn't work very well. But no, I mean, seriously, we have had the best time, and I don't know if you've seen any of the little video clips that we made since our lovely day with you guys. But I'd like to send one particularly special one here. Where is it?
I've watched all the ones that you've sent.
Have you? Yeah. Let me just drop this in just for a bit of context. So I went down to Newport actually, and walked into a Salvation Army and said, "Who'd like to come and see Sea Monster today?" This is what happened. Here we are outside Baines Wells, and Billy's getting off the bus. You're steady on there, Billy. So what do you think of that today, mate?
Absolutely brilliant, wonderful day out, and Nick's done a wonderful job, and I hope he keeps a good work up, and I'd like to see more people getting involved in it.
And what do you think of Sea Monster, what we saw up there, that oil rig and everything?
Brilliant.
Yeah?
Pity they weren't leaving it there a bit longer, you know, but that was very interesting. I'd like to see it in the night with the lights on, like, you know.
Yeah.
I thought the effect, how they put the character to it, you know, to make it look nice.
Yeah.
Absolutely brilliant.
Well, we never met before this morning. We met in the Salvation Army.
That's right.
So thanks very much for coming.
Listen, thank you.
Thank you very much. Appreciate your support. We'll be in touch. Yeah.
I'll leave you with a little message now.
Go on then.
Right? Don't cost a copper coin. be nice to one another, and the world would be a better place.
I'll take that. Isn't that a lovely thing to say? Thank you very much.
That's right.
So the very special thing about today, Billy, what you used to do for a living years ago?
We worked on the steam trains for 8 years.
So what railway line did you used to work? What was this railway company you used to work for?
GWR.
The GWR, God's Wonderful Railway. He used to be a fireman on a steam loco. Up to Paddington, was it? Or?
No, it's a new Barry work, go down to Barry and all that, like, you know.
Down to Barry, and it's a shame when they cut all those engines up in
They
Barry.
did in Newport, they cut over 300, not over what's your name, Buttercheese. They burnt them all up, all the ones by Barry and all. They cut all them up.
It's almost ironic because they're just about to cut up the Sea Monster as well. How do you feel about the Sea Monster being cut up like those?
No, I don't think they should cut it up.
No. Anyway,
but I would have liked them to keep that there longer.
Yeah.
For the money it cost.
I'll show you a little video one day of me when I was 1 and my first ever train set of my dad. And trains have always been my love. Model railways, tree. I love the GWR. So thanks very much, Billy.
All right, bud.
Yeah, all the best. Cheers, buddy.
Ta-ra
Get
now.
off there. It's all right. Bye-bye. Gotta love Billy, haven't you? What a super chap! What a super chap! So yeah, I mean, I don't know if you know much about the Steam Monster project, but it was supposed to be STEAM projects, so science, technology, engineering, art, and maths. And when I told Billy that, it really resonated with him because he used to work on the steam railways, and he said, "Well, it used to break my heart to see them cut these steam locos up." And really, what's special here, I suppose, in a way, is that they want to scrap Sea Monster as a repurposed oil rig. When in fact, really, they should be keeping it as an icon for a creativity revolution that can inspire all our communities, and indeed inspire this country. And I think that's really what we wanted to do with our Sea Monster appeal. We had a bit of a laugh that day, though. We took the camper van down onto the beach. And the case was, what could possibly go wrong? I think the question we have to ask ourselves is, what could possibly go wrong? The lyrics of the song have never been so appropriate. The message is in the music. Give more than you took, life could be so good, because now's the time, because you're free and we're free! And that's what this is all about, living your life, working with other people, trusting people, connecting, collaborating, and I think that film just summed it up so perfectly. I hope you'd agree about that. You know, it really was such a special thing, and sometimes I think these things are almost like meant to be, do you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So yeah, that's a bit of an 80s banger. You've probably never heard that before, you young trendy DJ types like you.
I'm 41.
Oh, I wasn't a cheeky way of asking your age.
No. No.
I'm a bit like Nicole dance. The 80s was my thing, yeah. So I've always loved that song, and then to see it put to that video is brilliant.
Yeah, it was wicked. I think I've watched that Tide video on repeat a couple of times.
Which, the Tide one?
Yeah, the Tide one.
It's a corker though, isn't it? Is that just because you're just like me, sort of messing up, or
I just thought it was really hilariously funny, but also it's like, oh my gosh.
Well, at the same time, I think as well, it feels to me that it's actually about the messages in that music of coming together and community. It's so strong, and you know, they guys helped us out. They didn't call a garage and pay hundreds of pounds. They sorted us out. The beach ranger came just down just now and was so friendly and so supportive. You know, it's really lovely. I mean, what are your thoughts?
Puts your faith back in humans, doesn't it?
Absolutely, I think it does. Yeah. I think it does. Yeah. What are your thoughts about what might happen to Sea Monster if they did manage to keep it? Benji, what do you think you could consider doing with it? Any creative ideas you might have?
Well, I think they could were going to move it to Barry Island or something?
Well, they're scrapping it. We're saying it'd be nice to take it to Barry Island. They just want to scrap it.
Yeah, well, I agree with that. I think that would work really well. Also, it would be nice if they left it for longer there. It would be nice if they just left it there and then use it.
We're not going to get the chance, are we, to get down there at this rate, because it won't be there for us to go and see.
Well, it's only there for 2 weeks. 2 more weeks now, and that's an extension. That wasn't the case when we came with you. That's happened since we came down. And I can't pretend that we necessarily had any impact on that. But no, I mean, I just love to see...
I'm sure you had some input in it, because you're quite good at engaging people, you and your team.
Well, it's very kind, Benji, but I think to keep that open for another couple of weeks would have involved a fair bit of funding and some fairly major decisions. And I think that was even beyond my persuasive skills in that time scale, but I'm flattered you think I might have managed to do that. I did have a chat the other day.
So why can't they keep it, Nick? Why do they want to get rid of it? Why do they want to scrap it? Why?
Well, we have to remember that it was never intended to only be open for 6 months, for 6 weeks. The original intention, as I understand it, was for it to open in June, July, to have the summer, so June, July, August, September, and close on the 6th of November. I think the frustration for many people is it was late opening, and that happens with projects like this. You know, nobody has ever put an oil rig on a beach before. You know, they put them in the sea. I'd imagine it's a lot easier because you can float things in the sea. You can't do that on a shallow beach. So they had those delays. They got the tides wrong, I think, and there was a big panic I heard from somebody in Cardiff who said they had to get every tugboat on the Severn estuary to come and tow it because it started drifting the wrong direction. Now that's not something you want to happen, is it? A boat with an oil rig on it started being out of control. So they had a few hiccups. 3 months is a big delay when the project's only up for four and a half. What I think is frustrating is they didn't extend the end time beyond the planned end time. The only trouble is that's now getting into the winter, the autumn. This week it's been closed 3 of 7 days because of the wind. One day you couldn't go on the helipad. You were so lucky. We had a lovely day, didn't we, weather-wise, when we went. And I think we took that for granted. I mean, it's just been very, very difficult. So it can only get worse now. I personally think they should be mothballing it, if anything, and opening it again next spring and having a second berth. They should not be cutting it up 2 weeks today.
No, I agree with that, definitely.
I'm actually, I'm on their Facebook page as well, and that's the genuine. Well, that's what everyone seems to think, that it's there, so it should. Yeah, people just don't want it to go. They're not ready for it to go because people haven't had a chance to see it. So
Sea Monster is one of 10 projects in the Unbox Festival. About Us was image mapping, projection mapping, the story of the universe and everything. One of the other events which I went along to was a thing called Galwad. Now, I don't know if you know, but Wales has the Young People's Charter that every law that is passed in Wales has to be checked with young people and how it's going to impact them in the future. And Galwad was an event, a project they ran, a week-long thing with live streams Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, about a young girl who'd been transported into the future 30 years and come back as her future self. So she was a 50-year-old woman in a 20-year-old body, telling everybody all is not lost. The world doesn't necessarily burn up in environmental crisis, but we have to be responsible now because that could change. And I went up to Blaenau Ffestiniog. I'd just like to play that out because Martin Green, the director of the Unbox Festival, is in this clip.
Yeah, its people are here among us.
Yeah, well, Galwad was unbelievable. We started down there in a little rave thing. We walked up to the quarry, and I was in the quarry, and I bumped into this chap here. I thought I recognised the cut of his jib. Martin Green, let's get some light on the young man. So how was that for you, sir?
It was amazing. It was absolutely extraordinary. And can't quite comprehend it really, but it was just a really beautifully staged act with a strong message. And I was aware that there was stuff going on live on Sky and out on other forms of social media. So it's just a really good example of how you can play with all the platforms simultaneously, all at once.
Absolutely. I mean, we've been live streaming, doing some pop-ups in a little community pub down in the village here, and it was lovely to leave there tonight and people sitting there watching it on Sky Art. Such a brave and bold thing for the Welsh Government to be involved in this, because this is essentially communicating their vision. So give our viewers at home an idea of the kind of premise behind this time travel bit.
An act,
young people's charter type thing,
through which all policy must be fed, and that's what inspired the team at Galway to think about how young people look at the future, and that's how they got to someone from the 30 years time coming back to meet themselves, and actually with a very positive view of the future, that change is possible, but if we act now. So there was a strong message in a very beautiful, very technical, very brave, very bold and ambitious show.
No, absolutely. No, brilliant. Well,
right.
Martin, lovely to chat to you. Thanks a lot. Don't miss the last bus.
Agora, extragat. Look around you. Look around you. Agora talagat. Open your eyes. The future is here.
So our starship, our cardboard starship made an appearance there, which is all very exciting. But Martin Green, the chap who was on the screen there, he said to me that night, I said, why are you taking sea monster out so quickly? And he said, its temporary nature is its art. Its temporary nature is its art, which I thought was absolute tosh. I know what you think, Benji. I'm a bit of an arty-farty, but even that was on another level for me.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
Giving each other a bag of sweets and filming it as you take them away from them after they've had a lick of one. And then submitting the film from crime for an Arts Council grant to the film festival because it's psychologically interesting. Well, no. You have an obligation. There are people in this town here, Weston-super-Mare, who haven't been able to get and see it. They're disappointed. And they feel cheated. They really do feel cheated. A bit like you said, Tracy, you have to understand the feelings and needs, have some empathy with the communities you serve with these projects. I mean, Benji, what do you think? I mean, do you think... Do you buy that temporary nature of it is its art? I mean, is that resonating with you?
I think if the number of people who want to see it represents something completely different.
Sorry, I'm sorry, Benji, I cut you off there. Say that again.
That's okay. I'm saying that the temporary nature, it sounds like that Martin wants it just as a showpiece for how he feels as through his work, but the number of people who want to keep it up is a huge amount of people, and I think the majority should be listened to because they're the most important people who will forward any other things he's doing in a positive way. But if he takes it down and it's not seen in a positive light, they're going to think like, you put something up, you spend so much money on it, but you're not letting other people see it. You're wasting money. And you're going to waste money again. So I really think they should keep it. And without swearing, I think it's a pile of shite with him doing what he's doing.
Well, he did actually that day when I saw him in Festival that his contract had come to an end that day and he was off to another project. The day that they announced a public inquiry into the funding of the project, which I thought was a little bit too coincidental, to be honest with you.
Yeah. Very typical. Very
Tracy. Sorry, Tracy, I thought you said something.
See, on the other hand, a lot of people out there, talking about the money side of it, And to spend all of that money for such a short period of time, it's it's quite a lot for people to get their head around.
I think it's absolutely ridiculous. I must admit. I'm lost for words when I think about that attitude and the way he referred to it like that. As just a vanity project, almost a personal vanity project. Did you see the clip of BBC News when they commented on it as a waste of money? Did you see that clip?
No, I don't think I have.
Called Unboxed, a celebration of creativity across the United Kingdom. This is Sea Monster in Weston-super-Mare, the latest free project to open to the public. The festival began in March and is costing the taxpayer £120 million. Now the head of an influential parliamentary committee says it's a potentially monumental waste of money and has called for the National Audit Office to investigate. Here's our culture editor, Katie Razin.
Sea Monster looms over Weston-super-Mare, a decommissioned gas platform turned into an art installation about the environment.
No one really ever sees these structures close up, and I just was struck by the sheer scale of it.
Martin Green is giving me an exclusive tour of the delayed project, the latest from his Unboxed festival, which celebrates British creativity. But Unboxed has cost £120 million of taxpayers' money and is under fire. Have you felt under attack?
There's a healthy and natural cynicism to something new, something different. I know we're all very proud of it.
A festival to showcase Britain was initially announced in 2018 by the then Prime Minister Theresa May. 10 projects have been opening since March. Like this story of human life called About Us here in Carnarvon. Unboxed had an ambitious aim to reach 66 million people. Today, the chair of an influential parliamentary committee has written to the public spending watchdog, the National Audit Office, questioning how many visitors the festival's actually had and asking the NAO to investigate whether it's been value for money.
Well, we saw the warning signs, the red lights were flashing on the dashboard of this, and unfortunately it seems to be that we've been proven right by that. The fact is that this has been potentially a monumental waste of money and actually has made very little impact in the country as a whole.
The government wanted to invest in creativity. The future of jobs and skills in this country is around creativity and the creative industries. We wanted to do things big and bold and ambitious, and that's what we've done, and I think that's absolutely value for money.
But there are people who are saying they haven't been extraordinary, they haven't been bold, nobody knows about Unboxed.
Well, you know, we've seen visitors in the millions. You can see behind you. I think this is extraordinary. I think it's bold. It's literally not been done in the world before.
And there you have it. A world first. Disappointment in that case, maybe. But, you know, it's not every day I agree with. It's not every day I agree with people saying, well, it's of course a waste of taxpayers' money. I'm trying to think of it as an investment. But the attitude that we're hearing and that we're talking about today does feel that it's possibly being spent irresponsibly and not actually with community at the centre of the decision-making process. There were two objectives to the project, let's be clear about it. One was to promote Britain and British creativity to the world post-Brexit. We've got to make our own world again, I guess. And also it was to connect communities and demonstrate the power of art, as the culture minister said to me when I came to Coventry that day. I can't see how this has done an awful lot to promote Britain to the world creatively. I mean, it's nice, it's interesting. A couple of countries might feature it, but I think they could have done so much more. And again, it's still a very well kept secret. A lot of people haven't heard about it. You know?
Yeah, I never.
Most of Coventry has now because of us.
Yeah.
Even we've started the chants now with an underground lights, both sessions on Friday. I think what is Tracy going on about? Like, save the sea monster, you know.
Really?
A chance to tell them all about it and show them videos, and so you know they're going, oh my god,
have to be careful here. We had these printed and we were told we weren't allowed to use the Unboxed logo, so I have to put the fingers over that. So nobody realises we actually sent it to the printers. But this was the flyer that I showed you that day, I think. And we've turned them into Save Sea Monster flyers with a QR code, 3 little bullet points. So what I'll probably do is get some more of those printed, because what we've got to do now is get word out on social media. Because even if we don't say Sea Monster, we have to celebrate its role in the world and when the UK in the world as a beacon for this creativity revolution, as I said. I've just found a little copy of the film actually that we made when we went to see Sea Monster with you guys. I'm going to play that now. I'm sure you saw that yourselves, but they're lovely little films of each day. Let me see if I can get that to download. What was the meeting you were talking about the other day, Benji?
Which one?
Tracy said you mentioned the other night.
Oh, Underground Lights.
Was that Tracy?
Yeah.
Underground Lights. What's that event all about?
It's a theatre group for people who've been through homelessness and also have mental health issues. So there's a morning group and a afternoon group, and yeah, everyone's really gels really well with each other, and we have just a lot of creative input. And one of my friends, she's her puppet skills have taken off. Yeah, so it's such a lovely group.
Yeah, and Nick, I gave you our book to read.
That's right. Say again, sorry. I actually haven't been home since. I haven't been home since. It's in my bag to sit and read. I don't get to bed till about 1 o'clock most nights.
Questions about Underground Lights Community Theatre.
Oh, brilliant. Okay, well, that's certainly why I kept hold of it. I've just found a little video of the wonderful day that we had. Let's just play that quickly. It was lovely.
Well, also on their way to look at an artwork, well, Nick Corstrom joins me.
Cameron.
Hello to you, Nick. And so you're on your way to Weston-super-Mare, which isn't somewhere you'd necessarily associate with great works of art.
Well, they've got a great work of art on the beach down there at the moment. But yeah, this is Nick. I'm this team camp.
Oh.
I've got 17 lovely people in the back. Well, we're off down to see the Sea Monster.
Oh, tell me a little bit about Steamco then. What is Steamco?
Well, Steamco is just a non-profit I founded in my son's school about 12 years ago to inspire kids with creativity by bringing the community into the school to run creativity days, to give them the skills, to give them some passion in life, to help them follow their dreams.
Well, this Sea Monster then, it's a decommissioned oil rig, isn't it?
Yeah, they've literally plonked it right on the middle of the beach in Weston-super-Mare, and basically they've done it all up. They've got plants on it, they've got lights on it, and people are able to climb on it and have a really quite a nice this world experience. It's beautiful at night. It's all lit up. They've got waterfalls. They've got sprays. It's like being in the clouds because it's to make people aware of the weather, to think about climate change, to think about the environment, to think about all those things, really.
Nick, if I'd have known you were going, I'd have come with you. It sounds absolutely brilliant.
A lot of people in the bus, when we're involved in the city of culture, and I think what we've got to do is we've got to show the government, show this country what happened in Coventry, and show how maybe the Unboxed Festival, it's had a lot of bad press, but how ordinary communities, how grassroots can bring this country back together, connect communities, connect the country, inspire our kids. And that's really what I'm trying to do. Come on, everybody, another big old cheer from the back.
Have a lovely time. Listen, Nick, thank you very much indeed. Oh, he's nice. They're just driving through on their way down to Weston-super-Mare to see the Sea Monster. What a fun thing to do for half term. If you're popping down or if you've seen it, please feel free to jib in and let me know about it. It looks amazing. Fun thing to do for.
Well, that was fun, wasn't it? And that's always the secret. Phone the radio on the way to something, have a little soundtrack, make a video from it at the end of the day.
Yeah, so, brilliant.
What little memories do you have of the day, Tracy? Does anything stand out particularly for you in terms of the day, really, I suppose? Any magic moments?
Gosh, there was lots of them actually. Just getting there.
Getting there at all? It'd take a while, didn't it? I must admit.
Yeah, I don't know, because we're all really close friends as well, and we had other people with us that we're now collaborating with. You know, getting them that we've worked with them now and again, like Hungry Nation. So that's rekindled the spark there. So we're in talks and collaborating with them now. So that sort of give that a bit of a G up. And just to actually see the Sea Monster and the was just amazing. Just loved every minute.
It was pretty cool, wasn't it? Benji, anything stand out for you particularly? Any moments, magic moments?
You and your
connections?
team were like, you and your team are fab. What stood out also was like, it made me feel more alive, like I was more present to the future and the things that are happening, and like how we can get people involved in different types of projects, no matter how much the cost is, even if it's a lot less, it really doesn't matter. But yeah, it made me feel like I could do anything, conquer the world, and it was like, it felt like a reboot to my system and a rebirth. I really, really want to go again.
That's lovely to hear, I must admit. I think it's...
You see,
Go on.
I was going to say, along the lines of this City of Culture moving forward with like the legacy, we've got another couple of years to work with them, with Josie Bamford and her little team. They're very interested in projects continuing with the climate and everything involved in that way, you know, more sort of outdoor performances with a lot more, like, I don't know, for instance, tree planting or something. They're very keen to move forward in that direction.
That's interesting.
So they're open
I think,
to ideas.
I think that's what's really nice actually about the Coventry Festival. I had a very short chat the other day with Shanine Bathina, who was obviously the creative director of that. But the legacy is there. They've built legacy in, and it's very easy to criticise. There are always going to be people who aren't happy. They got overlooked, or it wasn't done the way. I mean, you could spend a year having committee meetings and do nothing if you're not careful. Budget's tight, time's tight. But the fact that you're here now talking about it at all, two super engaged, super connected, super passionate people, super generous people, says a lot for the team that they put together, the way they motivated, inspired them, and have given them the empowerment to carry on. Because I get the impression that some of these projects, I fear that's the case with Unboxed. It's wham bam, thank you very much, boom, take it away again. Circus is gone, and all that's left in the car park is a bit of elephant poo, you know. And it's not good enough. On a budget like this, it's not good enough.
Yeah. I like the space at the top of the sea monster because it can be used for teaching kids about the environment and putting on plays. And it would also be nice to get people with sight and mobility issues, because I think they feel as amazed and astounded, because everything there is very texturized. There's the steel, the cold, the warmth, the plants, the smells, and also the radio upstairs with the sea tides. It was just like very kind of 4D, and I think they need to considering different things like that.
And I think this is where we've got to be practical. To keep it open the way it's open at the moment would be very expensive. It's crawling with security people, it's got lots of attendants there. But as you just said, there's a theatre on the top. There's nothing to stop them opening that up for community groups, for children. You only need somebody on the door and a couple of people on the stairs, you know, because you've got a managed group.
In Coventry, my gosh, it would be busy every day with things happening and things being performed and put on, and it would just be in constant use.
I can believe that. I mean, Coventry seems super empowered, super active and engaged. Just out of interest, Tracy, was it like that before Coventry to a massive degree? Do you think it has brought you together and supercharged your community collaboration?
Oh, definitely, yes. Yeah, I myself personally, I think so, yeah.
Hang on, definitely.
Everybody was chugging away, you know, everyone was chugging away, but that just gave everyone a massive opportunity to chug away together, you know, and to bring Coventry into what it is now. You know, it's on the map. For you know, apart from the war, it's now got a more positive.
Well, I'm not convinced many people across the country were aware of Coventry 21. To be honest with you.
Do you know, there's still people in Coventry that they didn't know it was a city of culture. I don't know where they were, under a stone somewhere.
Binging Netflix, probably.
But no one knew about like the City of Culture Leadership Program. There's always, in any project, there's good and bad things. So like over lockdown, that's why I created a team of 20 people and counting to create events in different areas, because I felt like with the leadership program it was going very slow. But it's not always about how a business is running, it's how you approach it from a different angle, and that's what I did. So yeah, but I think it did motivate, for the people it did reach, it motivated them a lot to discover who they could be and who they want and how they want the city to be run. So yeah.
Well, that's great
the
to hear.
amount of collaboration that goes on now is just amazing. It really, really is. It's fabulous.
Well, it's lovely to hear, and I know Shanine would be pleased to hear that. I mean, she works with the Mayor of London in the culture team there and helped roll out the London Borough of Culture. I think whole 2017 was very bright, very brash, very flash. They were obviously community projects, but I don't think anybody did half as good a job as you guys did it there in Coventry. And your passion and enthusiasm is there for good reason, because I know you, Julie. I've only met you a couple of weeks ago, but I know you don't take any nonsense. You're not whitewashable. You say it like it is. Julie Tracy. Julie, Tracy. You said that so deadpan. I thought you were being cross with me. You genuinely were asking, weren't you? Yes, this person is describing.
I thought there was somebody else on here that I couldn't see.
No, funny enough, I was describing you, Tracy. I was describing you. I'm not going to say it again because I can't remember all those big words.
If there's something going on, I can't help it. And same with Benji. If there's something going on, we've got to be part of it to see what good it can do.
Yeah, definitely.
Brilliant. Well, I really appreciate your time.
Don't forget about us. You know, we're there, and they know us. We know them. So, and look, it's good that we work together.
Well, you two,
legacy team, because they're very open, and I've invited them to meetings and things, you know, to see what we're doing before I have a name.
Tracy, shut up.
Sorry, don't ask me questions.
No, it's great. You two single-handedly. She's off again. Here we go. Go on.
Yeah, pollination was good. That was an Unboxed one in Birmingham. Pollination. I did a couple of volunteering shifts there.
Okay.
And that was quite a good one by Unboxed.
Well, they had Green Space Dark Skies, where people went up mountains with lights. It was filmed by drones. The Daily Express ran an article saying it was a woke fest because there was a group of Muslim hikers, which I thought was a disgraceful perspective to draw from the Daily Express. But at the end of the day, Unboxed Festival united this country, well, certain parts of this country, around a common hatred for the Unboxed Festival. The hard left hated it because they saw it as the Brexit festival, and the hard right sorted it. I've got my audio in my ear, so I'm jumbling here, sorry. The hard right hated it because they saw it as a woke fest, because it celebrated a few minorities here and there. No one of the 10 projects focused solely on minority interests or woke interests, as they might call them. And I think it's just when those people are included at all, some people have red rag to a bull mentality kicking off. But as I said that day when the bus with you, it's the 80% of what happens in the middle that's important, not those fringes. They're the ones that make a lot of noise, they seem to drive the agenda, but the majority of this population, the majority of people like yourselves, are more interested in just getting on and cracking on and doing stuff, as far as I can see. And that's what to me makes this all so special, really. It really does. I'm going to finish just quickly and have a quick look at the petition, or the petition entries. I had a bunch in today, about 30. These forms have generated some of those. I've got somebody here who says, besides being an awesome site and tourist attraction, Sea Monster also employs many people in supervising and stewarding, so it's generating work. Please keep me posted. That was John said that. Flo signed up, Talisine. It's really a cool thing done with an old item that looks really cool. Somebody said, super cool art installation, our family loved it, from 50-year-olds to a 2-year-old, inspiring and provoke lots of great conversation about art and in our environment. We'd love to see it there, stay there permanently. A shameful waste of public funds to decommission this expensive installation after 8 weeks. Please consider making it a permanent feature of Western Supermare Seafront on a consultation with local public and council. Came down for a day from Herefordshire. Looks like we'll be back before the beast is cut up because it was shut today. Seems a massive waste of money to cut it up. Everybody's positive. Everybody's positive. One thing I don't like people saying is that it's a waste of public money. It is if it gets cut up after 8 weeks. I'd like to see it as an investment in our children, in our communities, in our country, and all our futures. And that's really what it's about for me. I'm just going to finish here with a little film of Terry from Newport, who warmed my heart just the other day.
So today we're going to Western Supermare to launch the Save the Sea Monster campaign. One question for everybody on this bus, everybody from the Salvation Army of Newport. Are you with me today, people? Yes! I can't hear you. Are you with me? We're in the centre of Save the Sea Monster. How about getting totes of Barry for everybody in Wales as well? Yeah. I think that's a yes.
Yes, indeed. Save Sea Monster, that's the message that we want everybody to take away. Look at those happy, smiling faces. Well, what you can do is just help get word out about the petition, get people to sign it. We'll have another little conversation offline on this, I think, about getting together. I'd like to come up and see you guys at the coffee room up there and see what we can do and how we can work together, maybe run a little event there, live stream it across the country and get some momentum going. I had no idea that I was going to make so many friends on the back of this project, but in Cardiff, in Newport was very special the other day. Friday, November the 4th is Chartists Day. Have you heard of Chartists Day? Have you heard of the Chartists? Is that a yes?
Sorry, I didn't know what you said.
Have you heard of the Chartists? Chartists.
Chartists? No, I can't say.
Benji?
I've heard of them, but I don't know if it's what I'm thinking about.
I hadn't heard of them. I had to Google it. And basically, in 1839, you could only vote if you owned land. And 1 million people signed a petition to say, please, can we vote? And can you please pay politicians, MPs, so that ordinary people can afford to give up their job to do the job? That petition was rejected. They went back a few years later with 3 million signatures and presented that petition, and it was rejected. They went back a few years later, they kept together and got 5 million signatures together. The long and the short of it is they were arrested and thrown into jail. There was a riot in the square, Westgate Square in Newport. 20 people were killed, fighting for the right to vote, fighting for democracy, fighting for ordinary people. Now, I'm not on a mission here. It's not a class war mission of any sort. It's not even a party political mission particularly. It's a policy political position. It's something that understands, respects, and looks after community, looks after people, children, because ultimately the payback affects us all and it benefits us all, doesn't it, really? So it was so special to take that bus. We took 50 people, a 50-seater bus on Friday from Newport, from the Salvation Army. Billy was there, you saw Terry. And I know if I need people in Newport to hand flyers out on a Saturday, there'd be 50 people on the street doing it. And that means so much to me, as does the friendship of you guys, and the fact you've come out on a Saturday night, Sunday night, to have a little chat. So thank you so much, guys.
We'll do flyers and all sorts, anything to help.
Really appreciate
Yeah, definitely.
it. We'll be in touch. Thank you so much for coming
really,
out.
really special, but Nick, it's become really special to us.
Cameron, can you get the outside camera?
We didn't know about it, and now we love it, and we just don't want it to go. It's become really important to us.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, that's I've just worked out why we had an echo. I had the microphone on a
You're
second
on
laptop.
mute.
Is that better now? Am I muted?
Oh, we on mute.
Can you not hear me now? That's a shame. Okay, I'll work that out. There's a bit of an audio problem there tonight. Oh, not to worry. So I'm going to finish out on the seafront, I think. I think I'm going to play my little sting. I've got it to hand. Let's find that. I wish my computer hadn't crashed on me. And that has disappeared, not to worry. I'm going to just get up, plug this. So this is my little special windproof microphone. Look, it's got a little fluffy bit on there. So I press that, and that should connect. 1, 2, 2. 1, 2, 1, 2. 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay, well, I'm going to say goodnight. Thank you both very much for joining me tonight. I really appreciate it. It's been absolutely super. There's the site of Sea Monster. I'm not going to be able to hear you again now, so feel free to go back and have a cup of tea. I will be in touch. Love you all very much. So grateful to you for your support. I'm going to come out here and say goodbye from a very windy Weston-super-Mare. So yeah, here we are outside our Starship, our camper van where we've been sleeping for the last 2 weeks on and off. The minibus that we took everybody to is just over there. That's got to go back tomorrow. It's the end of 2 weeks. 2 weeks where we've been with communities. We've brought them here to Weston-super-Mare to see the sea monster. The seafront is deserted. We've been told we're not allowed to camp, but whatever. I'm just a dad, I'm a man on a mission. I want to raise £1 million to inspire 1 million kids by putting 20 of our art trucks like this on the road with everything you need to run a creativity festival in a school, a fete or a festival. In Coventry, in Cardiff, in Carmarthen, in Sheffield, in Liverpool, in London, in Leeds, in Northern Ireland, in Derry, London, Derry. I want to travel around the country live streaming community events, working with people like Tracy and Benji, who we saw tonight, who took the time out to join us to share their thoughts and experiences. We'll do this again in a couple of weeks because Sea Monster has been given a reprieve. It's got 2 more weeks, and we're going to be here that last weekend. We'll do this properly. We've learnt a lot tonight. We'll hopefully have permission. Might even be able to plug some electricity in. But at that, I think I'll leave you with the sight of Sea Monster. And I think Cameron, who's been fantastic, he's been a great help and support for me. I think if he just walks down the seafront as far as he can go until the signal dies, maybe that will be significant. I don't know. Just walk down the seafront, Cameron. There you go. I'll stay here. Thank you for joining us, everybody. I'll leave you with the sound of the generator. think the question we have to ask ourselves is, what could possibly go wrong? Hang on, actually stay on that actually, come back to that. Just get quite wide.